Once again, you're talking from a human virgin perspective. Am I right?
Who are these entities that are...
They're special creations of Allah. I've told you this already.
What do they look
We don't know. They look amazing. They look amazing. That a person, when they looks at them, they'll be amazed.
So what was the question? A man was...
Do you come from a Christian background?
Yes.
No wonder. You see, that's the reason I always ask from what background you come from, because in Christianity,
I know,
in Christianity, even sex is supposed to be something that should be, like Paul says in the Bible, that I would rather be single. Yes, so he actually was promoting to abstain from sex altogether, and this was he saw sex as something to be evil, something to be bad. In Islam, we do not consider this to be evil or bad, because God tells us to get married, to do it in the right way, not to sleep around. By the way, I'm not talking about you. Not to sleep around like in the Western world and many of the Eastern places as well now. Yes, tells us to do it. In Jannah, in paradise, these people will be married. So it's not like some sex and an orgy that you'll be having as people would imagine. Okay, this will be something which will be halal, which will be kosher, which will be approved by God Himself. Like, for example, we do not drink alcohol. In Jannah, there will be special kind of drink, yes, special kind of wine, which we will not get intoxicated. Now, can you imagine this? You can't. So how can you imagine the women that will be given as a reward?
Because I'm an artist. I believe in Greek mythology. So in Greek mythology, you might have a siren and it looks like this. So I like to think in pictures. And the only picture I can see is an object of what a woman is. And it's not even what a woman, it's a very young, virginal type woman, very inexperienced because it's a virgin. It's not like...
Do they get married in the mythology? In the Greek mythology?
So many mythologies in Greek.
No, you brought the...
I'm just trying to envisage.
I want to ask you, in the Greek mythology, do the sirens get married to whomever they're having sex with?
No, they pull them
exactly my point. Exactly my point. You see, in Islam, our standards are different. In Islam, these people will be married to them. These special women, they will not be, they will not be there just to have sex with them, and that is the only task they have. The important thing is this: is it approved by God Almighty? Is the wine that we drink in paradise, will that be approved by God Almighty?
I don't think a man could handle 72 women.
You don't think?
One.
You don't think?
Yeah, I just think it's...
And here's the other thing.
Man idea.
I totally agree. Look,
you're thinking with your penis. You're not thinking with...
Well, you're thinking with your eyes and your mind of this world. Yes, you haven't seen heaven, have you?
Oh, have you?
I haven't, but I've been told about it.
There's two of us.
Good, because
read about it.
But here's the thing. In paradise, do you know that even as a Christian, you'll be given a different body?
I don't believe in this.
Oh, you don't believe in Christianity now?
I have an open mind to everything. That's
good. So you even though do you consider yourself a Christian or not?
I believe I'm a human being. That's as far
Of course, you're a human being. I wouldn't be talking to you otherwise.
That's as far as I get. I can't
good.
say one
so
thing or
that's
another.
fine. That's fine. If you don't want
to put my peg in anyone in any religion.
That's fine. Do you believe in consciousness?
Of course, but we're still not getting back to the...
No, wait. A person who doesn't have evidence...
The flying fannies.
I'm telling you, a person who doesn't have empirical evidence of consciousness can believe in it like you. You know, I'm sure you haven't seen your consciousness under a microscope, but you still believe in it.
Well, I know it's there. It's consciously told
exactly, and I know God is there. I don't need empirical evidence.
I'm not denying that.
So here's the thing. I believe in God, and I believe God gave us revelation, and in that revelation, He told us about things which are unseen, like the heaven, like the paradise, like okay, and we will be given. You say a man cannot handle 72 women.
No.
I agree with you. A normal man cannot. But if a man has been given a special body,
72 penises.
I didn't say 72 penises. What is it? You got a filthy mind, honestly, you know? I said he's been given a special body, not 72 penises. Where did you get that from? By the way, why would you need 72?
And they've got those 72 virgins.
No, let me finish with that.
They've got consciousness.
To me, and then you jump.
No, I was talking to her, you interrupted.
Okay.
Why is the impression all this?
You were answering my question.
Don't be rude. Let me finish this discussion. Okay? So what I'm saying is that with a special body, you and I cannot imagine what kind of special body that is, number one. Number two,
I am imagining it.
So you imagine something very filthy. And I'm You know, to be honest, the reason you have this imagination, which as a painter you probably your imagination probably runs more wild. Yes, I'm not surprised. But like I said, we are talking about a thing which is of the afterlife. You do not even believe in afterlife. Am I right?
No, I can't believe in afterlife.
So why are you worried about something you don't believe in?
I'm not worried about it. I'm questioning it.
Don't speak for her. She can speak for herself. She can speak for herself.
I want to know why. It seems to be a man's view. In this heaven, I never hear about in Islam, for example, that all these women who die get 72 virgins.
Would you be happy if the women got it?
72 virgins? No, they want men with experience.
What? Nothing would satisfy you. Even if the women had 72 partners, it wouldn't satisfy you.
I find it weird.
By the way, there is actually an ayah in the Quran which says a person in paradise, in Jannah, will get what they desire.
Okay,
so we don't know what they'll get.
I'll ask you.
Yeah, go on.
On this earth, you've got a man and woman couple for life.
If they want to, many people get divorced.
Yes, but generally it's man and woman couple for life.
No, it's not actually. In fact, in the West,
traditionally,
if you look in the West, in the United States, it's more than 50%.
Just traditionally, it's man and husband.
What's that?
The husband all through his life can't wait to die so he can actually fuck about with 72 virgins.
Yeah, that's where you're coming from.
Is that it?
That's where you're coming from.
I wonder. I'm not.
I want to know.
It's not
wait,
where I'm coming from. I want to know why.
Let me ask you something. You know, you had a problem. You had a problem with two women sharing one husband. Am I right? Because you are that type who would not share your husband, and I agree with you. There are many women who are like that.
I think once it's consensual, do whatever you want.
No, earlier you said something else.
No, I didn't. I said if it's
you said you would disagree with that.
You can have 100 if it's consensual. If everyone's happy.
Okay, so we have no problem then. We have no problem. If the 72 virgins or the 100 virgins, if they agree to be with this one man, what's your problem?
Because I think, what kind of heaven is it? If every
Just now you said there was no problem.
Okay, I have a problem. If every man has 72 virgins following him around, there's 20, 30 people here. Imagine 3 times the size of this. One man with 72 women following him around heaven.
And what's the problem with that?
So can we think a bit more?
What's the problem with that? If they agree to each other, they are in marriage, by the way. Don't forget, they're married to them.
Is it just
what is the problem?
The problem is disproportionately there's so many more women in heaven than men.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because every man has 72 women. Whereas women have one man.
Oh my God, you know, doesn't matter how many times I told you, it looks like you didn't hear. I told you the women are not the human creation like you think. They're a special creation. How many times I repeated this? And you come back to the same thing again.
Because you never answered it right.
I answered it exactly like this.
It's like this idea of sex.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're thinking about. No wonder you thought about 72 penises. You know, I'm not surprised because you're thinking about a carnal desire to have sex, to have an orgy. That's what you're thinking. It's not like that in paradise.
I'm not. I wonder why on this earth in life, the Islamic man just has to think that only in the afterlife he wants this. Why would you even want 72 virgins?
Who are you to judge them? Who are you to judge them?
So this seems to be.
You're telling from your subjective understanding. You know, earlier I remember this distinctly. I asked you if 2 women want to share one man. You had a problem with it.
Well, I thought you were going to.
And then you backtracked.
I thought you were getting into polygamy and things like that.
I was meaning polygamy. I did mean polygamy.
I want to just talk about virgins.
All right, let me.
You were going off.
Even if they were, wait a minute. So you're saying, initially, if there were 72 women here on this earth, and they wanted to marry one man, and they were all virgins, you would be okay with that?
I would be okay once they're okay.
So may I just continue?
So what's the problem then?
Just find it.
So what's the problem?
May I just continue?
You agree with Islamic understanding. Thank you very much.
So you just you said that the description of the heaven in one way is described is that you can ask for anything you want and you get it.
Yeah, so you can ask for fruits, you can ask for anything, you can ask for.
And then the extended, this is from Quran, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the extended description that you can ask for, I don't know how many, 72 virgins.
No, you can't ask, you'll be given, so you should be happy with what you're given. And if Allah wishes,
you have a choice, you have to
if Allah wishes, He can give you, if you ask, yeah.
Right, no, so it's
what is the point you're trying to make?
My point is that this particular wish is explicitly mentioned in Quran. What's the motivation for that? Why this specific wish had to be in there, not all the other wishes that anyone can
Yes.
have.
Okay, you're a man. Answer me this sincerely. Would you desire to have, if the women come to you and they want to have sex with you?
Absolutely not. I would not have sex with them because that's not the kind of.
You know, ask any hot-blooded man,
No.
and they will say yes. That's why I said be sincere.
Excuse me,
Well,
that's why it's all about the men.
This is that's
No, it's not. I told you, anyone who is in paradise, if they seek and if they ask God, yes,
Right.
they will have what they desire. I've told you this several times, but you have already made up
Are
your
you talking to
mind.
me or him?
But she talked to me, that's why.
So you tell me my question, right? My question is, what's the motive for putting that verse in?
The motive is very simple. It's the reward from Allah. If anybody is given a reward from Allah for what they desire,
And the reward-
I'm answering you. Stop interrupting.
And what are the rewards?
I'm answering you. If you stop interrupting, I answer.
understood.
Otherwise, I'll not carry on the conversation because you have done this many times now.
You just had that's the same.
No, I did not.
happening between the
While
two
I was
of you, and
answering,
it's
she
okay.
didn't interrupt me.
Yeah, go
Okay,
on.
so the question is this: you asked, what is it? Basically, you're asking. Somehow, you're seeing this as evil. If there
No. Don't make assumptions about what I'm thinking. I'm asking. A
Also,
question.
you think it's not evil?
But I'm asking.
Earlier
a
you said you
question.
wouldn't have it.
I'm asking a question. What's the motivation for that verse being in Quran?
Before I answer that, do you consider having multiple wives evil?
Can you answer the
Do I
question
find
he's
it
asking you?
fair
He
to
just
have
said
multiple
fair.
wives?
Not you yourself. Do you consider this notion of having multiple wives
polygamy
a polygamous
conversation.
marriage?
Look, if any number of people want to have sex together, whatever, if they have consent of each other, that's fine.
So you have no problem then, both of you.
No,
No,
my
you're not
question
answering
is.
But that
you're
will be
not answering
consensual.
the question,
His
man.
question.
What's the motivation for this verse being?
I told you it's desire. It's a human desire. If you ask any
reward.
hot-blooded man, trust me. If you ask, why do you think there are so many divorces around? Because men sleep.
Okay.
Wait, I'm answering. Because men sleep around with other women. They will not be satisfied with one.
The
Hold
reward.
on, I'm still
I
answering.
get that. I am just repeating the
You
same
see, you're
thing.
doing it again.
You-
When I'm answering, you
He's
interrupt.
not.
The last chance. Okay, after this, I'm not talking to you anymore. When a person has extramarital affairs, and which is very common in the West. You should know this. Yes, the reason there are many divorces today is because of that. One of the key reasons is that because the man he slept with somebody else, not his wife. Okay, doesn't matter. It was actually Islam is the one who actually who limited it to 4 wives. You know, before the polygamy, there are no limit. Like if you look at Solomon, I'm talking to everyone. Like Solomon in the Bible, he had 700 concubines, 300 wives. This is in the Bible. Yes, David had multiple wives. David slept with Bathsheba, who was actually not his wife, and God did not punish him. God forgave him.
The question.
Wait, I haven't finished yet. I haven't finished yet. So this is something which no person who knows the history and who knows men actually would deny this. That men want to just sleep around. But in Islam, the only time we are supposed to have sex is with our wife, yes, who is legally married to us, like in the religious context of this thing. Yes. What I'm saying is that in Jannah they will also be married. Just like you said earlier, you don't care how many people sleep around with how many people. Yes. So in Jannah, as long as it's consensual, yeah. So if they consent, then there's no problem. And that is what a marriage is, my friend.
See, I'm
A
not
marriage
saying-
cannot take place without consent.
I'm not saying that a man sleeping with whatever number of women here or in heaven, it would be wrong in any way.
Now you said on earth it would be okay.
Sorry?
Not in heaven. You said on earth it would be okay.
No. Anyway,
You said, I don't care how many people they
It
sleep
is-
around.
I haven't. Well, I'm telling you now, I don't have a problem. I'm not saying that it's wrong for them to do it in heaven or on earth or anywhere. My question is, why has this been put into? I
told you already, desire. I've answered you. You keep repeating the same thing.
No.
Exactly.
I'm summarizing with the answer that you just gave.
Okay, go on.
Continue. Hold on.
It's okay. Sabr, inshallah.
So the answer you gave.
Go on.
Can I now?
Guys, come on. Sabr, yalla.
Hold on.
Summarize it. Go on.
Yeah. So no, hold on. So then the answer was this is to basically motivate men to do good.
And women.
So they go.
And women.
Well, no, it's not only for women.
No.
I'm talking about the specific.
No, but why are you doing that? Why are you only focusing on one verse
Because
when I gave you the other
I am focusing on
No. When I gave you the other passage.
My
wait.
question is about.
No, but that's what you see. That's not how you read scripture.
No,
When you read a scripture,
what I'm trying to say.
let me finish.
I'm not against
At least try to understand the point I'm making.
You interrupted me. So
I
let me
said
finish.
the women
I haven't finished.
and the men
You gotta let
can
me
have
finish
what they
because you just
desire. I've
interrupted
told you
me.
this many
What I'm
times.
trying to explain is how my friend here has a problem when she hears this from someone else.
Yeah, because she's thinking from the earthly point of view.
I have grown up a Muslim, right? So I have come across people like him who don't understand these verses properly. And I think there is a problem with that, because when it comes off as this being a motivating factor to basically remind men that you can ask for anything in heaven you want. But think about this: you can ask for 72 virgins. Can you imagine, right? That in this culture or any culture in this world is going to come off as objectifying women, because now women are becoming the price for men. Whereas you don't find a verse in Quran who says the opposite.
And did I not answer that question already?
It's not a question. I'm basically telling you how you're wrong. You're thinking that no, you get into
Your summary is
your
very.
answer to her question is that it's not going to be
By the
the
way-
existing humans who go over there to become the virgins. It's going to be new creatures. Whereas
They are new creations.
You're missing the point. You're getting caught up on technicality.
No, but I did tell you about the desire, and this is a reward.
Whereas
I
what you
told you
should
this
be
already.
doing as someone who believe you're a practicing Muslim, and you come across someone who has that view against it, you gotta remember that what's going through her mind is objectifying women. Whereas
Did I not tell her that?
I know this.
I told her that. Why do you think she mentioned 72
Yeah,
fetuses?
mate.
Why?
Calm down.
It's for that reason.
No, but you do understand that this verse
Oh,
is
so you
actually
wait a minute.
objectifying women.
Are you saying once
Do you
again?
disagree
Wait a
with
minute. Are you saying that when a man marries X number of women, which you didn't have a problem earlier?
I didn't have problem with on this word, on that word. It's not.
No, you wait a minute. You do not have problem with a man sleeping with many women. Is that right?
Is it me or another man?
You.
Well, I wouldn't want that.
No, but do you have a problem with it?
Do I have a problem with sleeping with more than
Not
one
you,
woman?
man, personally. I'm saying any man. Because I don't think you are able to. I'm talking about another man who's able to.
I don't have a
Because
problem.
I asked him earlier, he said no. That's why I said you're not able to. I'm talking about men who are able to. Wait a
That's a
minute.
bit of a cheap
No, it's
shot.
not. It's not.
Yeah.
There are men who are able to, unlike him,
That's when you
to
can't
sleep with
debate
many
very
women.
well. You
It's
make
very-
Do you have a problem with that?
And
No, I
that
don't have a
was
problem
cheap
with that.
shot.
Alhamdulillah.
And you
No,
still
no,
have an
no, no,
answer.
no.
Earlier he said they're objectifying women. Did you see that?
he-
When Islam does it,
he
it's
said it's
objectifying
just-
women.
he said it's
When
just
he does
here.
it, it's okay. With other people, it's
All
okay.
I'm telling you, this-
And this is exactly what Allah says, no
You
zina.
are honored
Do not
people.
even think about zina.
You're honored people.
And this guy has no
So,
problem with
okay,
zina.
so tell me this: would you
Have you realized what just
would it be
happened
okay
here?
You're a
for
broken record.
would it be okay for
No, you answer my question first.
Would it be okay?
You answer my question.
I didn't even get the question.
The question is this.
Are you Muslim?
No, it's not. He said he's an agnostic. So the question is this. You, once again, can you clarify?
These guys are really distracted.
By the way,
Would
do you
wanna
know-
show your mouth? Show your mouth?
I'm not gonna
Just show your mouth, man. Just, don't be so
Guys,
rude.
take it
Don't be
easy.
so rude.
Take it easy, inshallah.
Don't be so rude, man.
Habibi,
Don't be so
you're trying to
rude.
make us happy. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you know what zina means?
I do know.
Okay, what does zina mean?
A married woman sleeping with other men, right?
Sorry?
A married woman sleeping with other men.
Doesn't matter if married or not married.
No.
Not married or
not
married?
married.
Okay. Do you have a problem with zina?
I do have a problem with that.
Why?
Well, because you have it only one way.
But
It's
you're-
not the other way around.
wait,
A man can have 4 wives.
No, wait. Why do you have a problem with zina? Why do
Because
they have to be
because
married?
it's not
According
fair. It's-
to according to an agnostic,
Because I believe in equality of men and women.
and where do you get your morals from?
Everywhere.
Not from
The
Islam,
year's
if that's what you're asking.
Where is it from?
It doesn't matter.
Here.
No, it does matter.
I get
It does
it
matter.
on my own judgment. Why
Your
does it
own
matter?
judgment.
Why does it
So
matter?
wait, listen.
Why does it even
listen.
matter?
Earlier you said you had no problem with how many people sleeping with how many people.
Consensually.
No, zina.
The women are into
What's
it.
the punishment for zina? Can you tell everyone?
No. Before you change the topic,
for zina?
don't change the topic.
The punishment for zina is stoning the woman. They bury them, they keep their head up, and they stone them to death. That's the punishment.
Show me
for
that in the
zina.
Quran.
Oh, come on.
Show it to me.
Dude,
Show it.
just go and they're still doing it in certain countries. You don't even
You're
have
from
to.
Iran, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
am.
No wonder they do it in your country.
No, they don't do it.
Don't say every country.
Well, it's a Muslim.
Go and look
It's a
up.
Muslim
First and
country.
foremost, for zina is 100 lashes. It's not
Thank
stoning.
you.
He doesn't know the rulings.
Excuse me.
The guy doesn't know the rulings.
Okay, 100 lashes. Why don't the man?
No. Wait
Why
a minute.
doesn't the man
Wait a
get
minute.
100
Wait. You know
lashes?
why you change the topic?
Why doesn't
You know
the
why
man
you
get
change the
100
topic?
lashes?
Because you realize that zina is a principle in Islam, and that's why they're punished. Your morality is not from Islam, and I totally agree with that. Your morality, you know why you're still accepting Islamic morality? Because it makes sense to you.
Do you
Earlier, trust me, this is on camera. Earlier, this man said it's okay for anyone to sleep with as many women as they want. And now he's saying zina is not right.
This man keeps
You
repeating.
see how they change the topic? You see how he changed his stance?
So you believe in
And you're not
Islam, and I
listening,
think
and you're making
one of the,
cheap
well,
shots.
any other religion you shouldn't be
That's on
lying.
camera too.
If you're lying,
It's on tape, you can't be lying.
What did
I'll
it
get
say?
caught out.
Anyone can sleep with anyone with with consultation. If
Sorry, with what?
with their consent. To sleep
Exactly,
with
that is what zina is.
Which is fine.
Zina is with consent. Others will be raped.
Well, zina is punished though.
No.
Zina is not a
If zina is without consent, it will be considered as rape.
No, okay, hold on.
You laugh.
When you mention zina, immediately as someone who's grown up as a Muslim, my thought immediately goes to the punishment that is specified for zina.
I was talking about the action.
Zina is a dirty word for a person. It's an insult to give to a person.
But are you okay with that action of zina? The word is dirty. Are you okay with the action?
I don't think it's well. If it's married, then would it be?
No. Zina is not marriage. You know that, and I know that.
right.
Once again, are you okay with the action of zina?
A woman deciding to sleep with a man.
Yes, with
yeah,
consent.
I'm fine with that.
Alhamdulillah. You see, this is what I wanted to tell this
Couple here
man.
who is not married is doing
Okay,
it.
so now we go back to what you were objecting to, womenizing,
No, I
objectifying
wanna-
women.
no, no.
Remember he said this?
Before
He
we go
said
there,
this,
hold on.
objectifying women is wrong. Now he's okay with zina.
How is that objectifying women?
Brother, if somebody marries without, somebody sleeps around, wait, do you have a problem with one night stand?
How is that objectifying women?
Because that is, they see them as just objects. They don't respect them. There's no need
the
for
woman
marriage.
can decide
There's no
to have sex with someone
responsibility.
else.
There's no responsibility.
What are you talking
Without a
about?
marriage, there is no
So
responsibility.
every couple here, when I ask every couple here who is not married, if the woman is doing zina,
No, not every. Zina doesn't have to be you live long term. It can be one night,
yeah.
a
So
one night stand.
how is that objectifying
Do you have a
women?
problem with that?
How is that objectifying
I'm asking
women?
you. This will answer
Dude,
it.
it's up to everybody's decision. Well, if she wants to have a son or if he wants a son, it's up to them.
When
It's not up to you or me to decide if it's okay or not. They can make their own judgment.
Very good, very good. Remember this. They can make their own judgment. Now those 72 virgins make their own judgment to sleep with this one.
Well, I thought they were creatures. They were
Well, there are 72 virgins.
Can I say something?
I didn't say they were not
No, you
special
said
creations.
the new creatures that made up in
Yeah,
heaven.
they still have consent to marry, to sleep and marry this.
Well, they
to
have
marry
to
and sleep with
dispose
this.
all of them, as you said.
But you have
man
no
gives
problem
them.
with that, my friend. You just said it. You have no problem with that.
I don't have.
And that is not even zina, by the way. That is a marriage.
My question.
By the way, you know what was his problem? His problem was the
Are you talking
punishment.
to them or are you talking to me?
I'm talking to everyone.
You seem really weak when you're talking to them, whereas your audience is big.
You have just contradicted yourself.
No, I haven't.
Okay, what does objectifying women mean? Go on, tell
Well,
me.
like what I was telling you
Tell me
is
what you
that
understand by
when
that.
in Quran you said that in Quran
Guys, just ignore it.
heaven is described as a place where you can ask for anything you want, any wish you have, you get it. Whereas in Quran,
What does objectifying women mean?
This specific.
Whom are you talking to now? The camera or me?
I'm talking. I don't want to look at your face, but I get distracted.
Okay, then don't talk to me. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You see, the reason he got angry is because he just realized that objectifying women, according to him, was someone who was given extra number of women. And that to him is objectifying. But when he said he has no problem with zina, as long as it's for consent, that was the end of his
When
discussion.
Quran rewards men 72 virgins.
Yeah, I know you're jealous.
To say if you're good, you go to
First try to get there, then worry about Jannah.
And when the prize.
Try to go to Jannah first
Objectifying.
before you worry about Jannah.
Learn how to debate with people.
You got to learn how to be consistent and not contradict yourself. You know, I see a lot of hate in the truth. Sorry, I was good. At least we still have a smile. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.